Why, hello there, beautiful internet, and you fantastic creatures of the beyond. So we have here a design that we have worked previously on, but I have advanced it a bit, and I have created our first site, the Inkscape Panda website, at inkscapepanda.com. I feel like an advertiser. Anyway, but the point is that I have done some pretty interesting things to this theme. It still does more or less what it did before, but now it creates this flashing effect in the background like a neon sign. And this one looks like a nightclub sign. But more than that, I have updated the code. So, for example, let's say I want to toggle my background images. So if I'm gonna refresh, tada, well, I've already set two of them. And if I go into the white, I have it like this. If I go back into the black, like this. And if I refresh, it's going to maintain this this image. And you can also see there is a slight transparency on the background. And this one is quite clever how I did it. Because if we go up into the file here, so the file is separated into two elements right now. This one is associated to the background, and it doesn't say background, it says content, but this one is an advanced CSS hack. Don't bother too much with it. The point is I'm creating two layers. So this z index minus what is the layer in the background, and the z index 1 is the layer above it. So this one is related to... Oh, why did I put opacity 0.4 here? So this one is related to the background. This one is related to the content inside the div of the called file. Nothing too crazy. The point is that this only creates the opacity. Otherwise, if I would have set opacity here with the background, it would have turned the opacity on the inside elements as well. So we didn't want that. So right now, if I'm gonna go opacity 15, for example, if I'm gonna refresh, bam, there we go. The background is only 15, but everything else has opacity 1. So let's turn it back. There we go. So yeah, just a tiny thing that you can have there. And usually I kind of code my my page in PHP to do other things. But since I thought you guys might want to have access to the code itself, and you cannot read it through PHP because PHP happens directly on the server, if you want to have access to the code, you just go press F12 in any of your browsers, and then you can see in the head all of these things with the style and whatever, and then you can also just save the page itself if you want to have access directly to it, and then the script here at the bottom. It's a bit compacted in this view because that's how the inspector formats the code, but you can read it, there's no worries about that. Perfect. So yeah, mainly I've created this because I thought we could have access to some live examples that I can associate on this site, and it's easier for you guys to interact with them rather than to constantly download it from the G drive. I'll still upload to the G drive. I'm even considering creating a gallery or a library here within the website, but yeah, that's still debatable. Now, I have also created something interesting here. These two buttons are now active. So now if I click on this, it's going to open in a new page this photo editing catalog. And you can use either to click and drag like so. This is an older library that's called Turn.js. It's a bit deprecated, but it still works, so I'm still using it because I haven't found anything better to replace it with. There are some alternatives, but not as good as this one, just in my opinion. Okay, so you can either click or drag, or you can use the arrow buttons left and right to just go like this. And if you just click, keep it pressed, it's gonna go faster, you know. So I usually like to go with my arrow keys. So this is for the photo editing that I've done in the past. Just crazy things that I had fun with. These are all from Pixabay, I think, or Pexels, I can't remember right now. So yeah, I've done quite a few of these. There's the one we've worked on. And then if I want to go with the second one, this one is for this, the vector designs, which we already know because we've done most of them, if not all of them. And I was also researching something interesting when I was doing this part, to animate the SVGs using Smile or Smile. But I've run in a few issues. Now, Smile is basically animating with XML code inside the SVG directly, which is fantastic, but browsers input some limitations to this aspect and they don't work out of the box as intended. So yeah, I'm still debating on how I'm gonna approach that. But right now I'm doing all the animation just purely with CSS and a bit of JavaScript here and there, but very little. It's more the interaction of JavaScript of replacing certain classes or toggling them. Now, Smil, on the other hand, is kind of like CSS keyframes, animations with keyframes, but it can be even more powerful than CSS in the sense that it can control even the vector points inside your SVG. Now, the thing that I noticed is that if I'm applying the animation inside the SVG and then dragging the SVG into the browser, it's not going to work. Well, and let me exemplify, because I have an example, I think. So if I'm going to bring this animation over here, nothing happens. And this is in the SVG file. But if I bring this index here, which is basically the same thing, but I've only coded, actually I've copied the code of the SVG directly into the page. So I'm not importing the SVG, I'm copying the entire code. Exactly how it's in Inkscape with the Sodipodi and blah 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 blah. And the thing is that now the animation runs here, but check this out. This one, actually let me see if I can identify this. So this one is this circle. So this circle encapsulates this animation, and this animation is triggered on click. So if I click, awesome, isn't it? And this is Smil, and it's just one line of code, nothing crazy about it. There are some differences. For example, in this text, it's this one. Yeah, this one is just using the attribution name opacity, while this one is doing a translation. There are other ways to animate, and I'm not sure if animate translate has been deprecated in browsers. I haven't tested with that one, but there are some more advanced ways to manipulate elements. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I rather like Smil or Smile. But as I said, it's kind of iffy depending on the browser. Some browsers even like Chrome is considering deprecating Smil altogether. but for now it seems that it works from my tests. I haven't tested in every browser obviously, but being sure to have a fallback on CSS if something doesn't work. Still, it's much easier than CSS in my opinion, and it shouldn't be deprecated, but yeah, it's conditional for now. We'll work on this in further experiments. For now, I'm just dabbing into it. Okay, guys, hope you like the new release and you visit it a bit. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Stay awesome. Bye 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 bye.